Nick.
Oh, hi, Tys.
Welcome to episode number 127 of Nick, Tys and Videotape. It's a very special episode. It is our OSCAR Extravaganza.
Do you like that word, extravaganza?
Yeah, well, it just kind of turned out that way. I think we named it that for fun the first time.
And then we rolled with it.
Now it's stuck.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyson and myself are in full tux attire.
Of course. It's our traditional tuxedo attire for the Oscars. We've just watched the show.
We have.
And we are here now to discuss all things Oscar-related.
Okay.
We're going to wrap up the show. We're going to talk about the surprises, the not-so-many surprises.
The fumbles, the fun, the hilarious, the non-hilarious.
And the non-hilarious, and the completely bizarre.
Yeah.
Which was definitely happened more than once.
The left of field.
Left of field
was quite full this year.
Yes, it was. There were many in the left of field. But yeah, we're very excited to do that. But before we go on, Nicholas, tell the people at home where they can find our show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in for your Oscars wrap-up and you've chosen Nick, Tys and Videotape, I applaud you. Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Nicholas. This is my good friend Tyson. We do a podcast. It is found on most podcasting mediums where you find or listen to podcasts.
Yes.
We would love for you to like, subscribe, share, rate, review, all of those things. Other than that, we're on all the social medias, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah.
We have an email address. You can look it up on those things. I'm not going to tell you anymore because that forces you to look it up if you really want to write something.
It is in the episode notes. You can find it quite easily if you just make your way to all the notes of the episodes. And if anyone is interested, I do put some time and effort into those episode notes. By all means, read them.
I read them every
I've gotten lazier lately. Used to be a lot more detailed. I used to try to be funny, and then I got over that and just went, no.
Real quick. Here's what you got.
Here's what you're getting.
Suck it. Yes, but apart from that, Tyson and myself are big advocators
sure.
of the Letterboxd app, sure. So if you wish to follow Tyson and myself, Tyson is TYS_videotape and I am NIC_videotape.
Yes.
That is on the Letterboxd app. Yeah.
And if anyone else is having slight trouble with that app, we're with you there too.
Look, they'll sort it out.
I'm sure they'll sort it out quick smart. They're pretty good with that kind of stuff.
Wait for the update.
But that was... the other day, I opened Letterboxd and went to a film to just check to see who that I'd follow had also seen it. It was a film that I'd recently seen.
Yeah.
And so the process of that was quite slow and laboured, and it was very glitchy.
Yeah.
And then I happened to look at my battery, and it had used over 30% of my battery just trying to read that.
Open that up.
I think, they need maybe to do something about that.
Good Lord.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will.
Exactly.
They're lovely people. I've actually reached out to them, and they've actually got in contact back.
Oh, isn't that
awesome?
Quite
good. Yeah. But Tyson,
yes, Nick,
we are talking Oscars. We are talking the Academy Awards.
It is, and that will be our feature presentation for today.
Shall we start that?
I think we should just get right into it.
And now for our feature presentation.
It's a wonderful night for Oscar. Who will win? The nominees for Best...
All right, Nicholas.
Tyson, we watch this every year.
We do.
It is definitely my favourite. You actually follow football, so you have a grand final. This is my grand final.
Exactly. And it's been a funny year. It's with the we've had a change in schedule, for instance. So the Oscars are earlier this year than they've been for a little while, and it's meant that this really since December it's been very crowded with news of nominations of wins in Guild Awards and the Golden Globes straight into the SAG, straight into the BAFTAs, and it was all just kind of... It
was quick.
Everything was happening. I remember there was one day, because I tend to kind of, check in on the award sites that I follow.
Yep.
And there was one day where I think I'd missed it, maybe hadn't checked in for 4 or 5 days.
Yep.
And there were like 5 different awards that had been announced in that time. And I was just like, oh shit, here we go. And was obviously stuck there for about an hour following up on all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's felt like a really compacted...
Squashed awards time.
Season. So, and I don't know how much it actually affected the results in the end, but I would hazard a guess and say a little bit.
Okay.
As we work our way through and talk about some of these winners and losers. But overall... What was your overall consensus How'd you feel of the?
I enjoyed it.
about
It was a lot better than last year. I think there was. Not that last year was very memorable. But
that's my problem. I don't seem to remember them very well anymore. I remember the winners, but I couldn't really tell you the exciting things that happened in the ceremony, except for the bad stuff.
Yeah, I could tell you the things that I don't like about the last 2 years that it's happened. Bringing in, like I mentioned this last week, but when they brought in all the Girl Scouts, which they're great. Sure, I just don't want them in my awards ceremony.
Marching. What's his name? Jimmy Kimmel marching the celebrities over to the other thing and having a big. And it's like there's fun stuff to that, and I know the whole idea is to try and get stuff to go viral.
Yep.
And to build a little bit of like interest, public interest in the Oscars again, because they are not doing too well.
No, they're not.
This was the worst rated Oscars telecast of all time.
Shit, I did not know that.
It was
okay. Good Lord, really.
So well down on last year.
Yep.
And also well down on the next worst. So it was a good couple of mil less than the next worst. So the Oscars in a bit of freefall at the moment. So I get why they did try certain things like that to boost it a little bit. I prefer my Oscar ceremony to be pretty straightforward.
Yep.
But if nobody's watching them, they're not going to be around for much longer. So
it's true.
I suppose we've got to do something. Let's get that popular film category back. That's the answer.
Not even funny. Not even funny. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I guess I'm kind of with you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There was nothing I really hated. There was a lot of strange choices.
It was strange. That's the thing. There was nothing I hated. I had a ball. I had a blast. I loved it.
Look, I always have a very good time watching them, but that's usually due to the company and the excitement of the awards themselves.
Okay.
But the ceremony itself, very odd.
Very odd. It was different.
What did you think of the opening number, Nick?
Oh, now. So I'm actually quite a fan of Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
Like I've listened to her albums. I think she's a great singer. She's got some killer tracks in her second album that I really love.
Okay, sure. She's got pipes, man. Like she can sing.
Dude, and she's got some acting chops as well. So she was in Hidden
Figures.
That's the one.
Oh, really?
So she was in that, and she was really good in that. But yeah, she's great. Her style is amazing. I just didn't care for.
I thought it was quite awful, to be honest.
The song was not good.
Yeah,
no, it really
I don't even know if
wasn't.
it was so much the song. I couldn't tell you what was happening in the song. It was.
But don't go into. You've got a great stage there. You've got one of the biggest stages. Don't go into the audience. Why are you going into the audience playing literally in Tom Hanks's lap?
Well, the whole idea, what the monologues used to do, the opening monologues, and it's kind of what Chris Rock and Steve Martin did, but to a lesser extent.
Mm-hmm.
What you'd notice that every year it was like gags where they introduce the celebrities that are there.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, Brad Pitt's here.
Yeah.
Let's
say
blah,
a little
blah,
something
blah,
about
blah,
him.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I think that was this version of that. It was kind of like get them to all do a little verse of these la la las. That, can't even remember how it went, to be honest, but it made me laugh.
It was horrible.
I appreciated Leonardo DiCaprio.
He gave it a mad shot.
He gave it a crack, and he cannot sing, that lad.
That was champion. I love that.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
But do you know what it reminded me of? You know how, and it comes up a lot, like people talk about the worst ever Oscars moment.
Okay.
And it's that Snow White going through the history of films, and Rob Lowe pops up, and it's all choreographed, and
I don't remember this.
You've never
one.
seen this?
No.
It's from,
I would have seen it. I just
80s,
don't remember.
I think, maybe early 90s.
Okay. Maybe I haven't seen it.
No, it's definitely 80s. But I recommend everyone YouTube it, because it's one of those, like, just you want to cover your eyes, but you can't stop watching.
Right.
It is just ridiculous.
Well, the fact that Janelle Monáe was on the floor at one point, and I was like,
it was getting there.
Why are we on the floor? Why are we on the floor?
And this was starting to feel like that to me when there were choreographed dancers dressed as the Joker, and the family from Us, and like people dressed as soldiers, and it's like, now, ladies and gentlemen, the 1917 dancers. Like, it was like, oh no, this is bad.
This is bad. This is a bad start.
I commend her for her energy and her performance skill, because she managed to keep the energy up. It didn't feel like a train wreck happening before your eyes. Yeah. But it could have.
Jesus.
Because that was those dances.
The Joker dances.
Oh God, it was awful.
Oh.
Awful. So that was an interesting start.
And then, of course, Steve Martin and Chris Rock come out and do their thing.
Which is, that's great. That feels like the Oscars to me.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like the no host thing. I think I might have said last year I'm okay with it. I don't like it anymore.
You don't?
No.
I'm off the train.
Because it made me think how much better it would have been to have the two of them. Because the host it's not a big role anymore.
No.
And it doesn't have to be. All it has to be is the monologue at the start.
Yep.
And then introduce the presenters. So instead, they had them do a monologue.
Yep.
And then they had a whole bunch of people come out. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember who called attention to it. It was George McKay from 1917.
Yep.
When he did it, he goes, now I'm here to introduce somebody who's going to introduce somebody else.
Yep.
Who's going to introduce somebody else.
Yep.
And I was like, thank God for calling that out.
Thank
because it proves how absolutely unnecessary it is.
It's just a waste of time.
Well, because why was that not Steve Martin and Chris Rock doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep them around and say, hey, just come out and go, ladies and gentlemen, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And we go from there. Easy, piece of cake.
That's
and then
fine.
there's a sense of continuity to it as well. Instead of me having to turn around every 5 minutes and go, who's this fucking guy? Who's this person?
That's George, what's his name, out of 1917?
Well, at least I'd just seen 1917 and I thought he was exceptional in it, so I remembered
great.
his face.
Yeah. I'm big fans of, yes, I do like hosts. One of the opening numbers, one of the opening two reels that I love that come to mind when you're going to open the Oscars. One is a historic look at film, because that's what we're here to celebrate. So it's literally just a rolling montage done extremely well.
Yes.
And I think this was like 2004, 2005, and that's what opened the Oscars. And it was a nice, you're looking at
it used to be every year there'd be something like that.
Exactly, yeah, but it was a nice 2 minutes or 1 minute, just a rolling montage of lines from Ben-Hur to Hitchcock, all the way up to Spielberg, Jaws, and whatever's new.
Well, that's what I mean. I reckon you could have made bingo cards.
Exactly.
When you watch those things that have all the bits that you expecting.
Exactly.
And it's like,
no prisoners.
Yeah, exactly.
No prisoners. There's Lawrence of Arabia.
Exactly. Oh, we're going to need a bigger... Oh, no, it's the bit where he's shoveling the chum.
Yeah.
And the shark pops up and he pops up really quickly. It's like, oh, that's on my bingo card.
Yeah. And then E.T., you get that E.T. shot. Everyone loves that E.T. shot. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
As God is my witness.
Exactly. And then you get, you always get Sound of Music. The hills are... You get that shot.
Right. She's
there you go.
around.
She's in there. There she goes.
Tick.
Bingo.
Now...
But
I think that's probably the most fun. It sounds ridiculous, but for us... That actually sounds like the most fun. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to get them all the intros that they used to do that, and we're going to draw up bingo cards.
Right.
Okay, so do you reckon...
Yep.
Before you go on to your second point, do you reckon that they don't do that anymore because there are now 40 zillion of those just on YouTube and anyone could just pick one and play? And they probably think, well, why are we bothering?
Bring something new to it. So I remember the last one they did of that. They had actors, directors, cinematographers talk about their role or their job or why they got into.
I'm more interested in that, for sure. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so it would be the film or something that they like. I remember my dad taking me to see Star Wars, and they'll roll Star Wars in the background while they're talking in a little talking head section of thing. Do that. Do something like that. I'm sure I would love to hear just if that was the norm and make it so I can't wait to find out who they get this year. Yeah. Of their little tidbit of things. Because I know that my favourite thing during speeches is if you start thanking your set of people, I tune out straight away.
Yes.
Right? If you have a story or something that, you tell a little story in there about family, about, making something, I'm more engaged. Have those parts in that and roll the movie that they're there to,
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, so things like that. The other one was... 2008, it was the recession, and it was Hugh Jackman was hosting, and they literally they presented all of the movies that were nominated for Best Picture in a rolling type of stage musical thing that we're used to.
Yep.
And it was just slapped together, and it looked clunky, and it was great, and it was really fun.
I remember that being very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really good because Hugh knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it let it play, and it was great. That was the other one that comes to mind.
No, it's a good point. I think this was quite lacking in the magic of the movies kind of theme, which tends to be what the theme is most years.
That's fine.
That's the audience, though. We're the kind of people that, yes, I know I've seen those clips 1,000 times, but seeing them again, hearing the orchestral score, knowing that it's Oscars night, that gets me in the mood.
Exactly.
hip hop dancers dressed as the Joker does not.
It really does.
Unfortunately.
It really, yeah. It really
So it
doesn't.
was a very, I think you kind of put the nail on the head for me because I couldn't quite figure out why I wasn't feeling that this year. I didn't feel like throughout the whole ceremony, it didn't feel like
Where's the magic?
Oscars. Where's this kind of like we treat this with a bit of reverence because it's like it's celebrating something that we love so much.
Yeah.
Instead, it felt a little bit like, are we still doing this thing?
Yeah.
Like, and I think maybe
Isn't
that's
this a little old?
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Well, maybe it needs an overhaul. Maybe the whole thing needs a revamp of some description.
Yeah.
But there's only so many ways you can hand out awards to people.
I like how they do it.
I like how they do it. Fuck it. Keep it how it is.
Keep it how it is.
So-
Just maybe
so
get
you've been told.
another director. That's all.
Yeah,
'Cause there are directors
these
for these
producers,
things.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
Producers and directors, and they weren't great this year.
No. So Steve Martin, and then Steve Martin and Chris Rock.
did a great job, I thought. Really funny.
I thought they were good.
Yeah.
I thought they were good.
And like they're doing the perfect amount of hanging shit on
Yeah.
politics,
Give it a bit of
hanging
sass.
shit on like, marginalism and hanging shit on like everyone in Hollywood
Yeah.
being a bit kind of
Yeah.
rich one percenters. Fantastic.
That's great.
Covering all the bases.
Yeah.
You get great gags. You get a little bit of kind of racial spice
Yeah.
in there, and
Yeah.
people can have a little bit of a bit of a ooh, it's a bit risque.
Yeah.
And
They did.
It works.
They did. Like they were hitting the nail on the head a couple of times. The best actress who is African American, of which we have one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, ooh, there you go. How was that for you? Turn it into the Golden Globes. Turn it. If you're going this bad, get Ricky Gervais. He'll source it up.
Yeah, I'm
just don't
firmly
think-
against that idea, but
Me too. I'm only just spitballing, but only because I don't want it to turn into. Because, like you said, the Oscars is that reverence. It has that.
I think
esteem.
I think it generally avoided. Like it did not go super political.
No.
We've had much worse years where
yeah.
like people have been like every speech and every moment has been some kind of gag about that something political, something racial, like really trying to push those, like make sure every moment had some kind of like
Are we
heat
aware
to it.
that this is going on?
I didn't
while-
feel that
yeah.
this year. I thought they kind of managed to just keep it, because this is similar to something I was talking about last week. Is that just don't give them the ammunition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is it's an echo chamber anyway. Like the people that are watching this are not the kind of people that are going to go,
Who are
"Oh wow,
unaware."
you've really opened my eyes."
Yeah, exactly.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like we'll
get to that.
We are the people that are kind of on
Yeah.
your on your
We know
level
what's going
anyway,
on.
man.
Yeah.
So
Sidebar.
yes, of course.
Why the fuck was Jeff Bezos there?
Don't know.
Why the-
Amazon Studios, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Or is it just because he's so cashed up? He's literally the richest man in the
Yeah, he
world that
probably
he's
wanted-
allowed
yeah,
to
he probably wanted
go
to come.
wherever he wants?
His company makes
off,
movies,
man.
so he was like, "I want to come."
Can I come? No, Jeff, you dick.
Are you going to tell him no?
Yes, I am. If I would, yes.
That was a great
Who was
gag.
he? It was a good
What was
gag.
it? The only guy that's
Don't-
divorced and
Yeah,
still the
and
richest
still
man.
the richest man in the world. Well done.
Yeah.
Are you going to razz him? Are you going to say something, Steve? No, I would like my packages on time. Tyson?
Yes.
First award.
First award. It was a supporting actor, which was of course won by Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Do you know what I didn't do? I didn't check our predictions,
Oh, that was the point of this episode.
so I don't know what we've.
That's all right. 1 for 1. Well, we picked Brad Pitt.
I know we definitely had Brad
We
Pitt.
definitely had
Do you know
Brad
what we'll
Pitt.
do? We'll pause and I'll put some. We'll pause. We'll go to the episode on your phone.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen to it,
Okay,
and we'll
cool.
come back.
All right, all right.
That's going to be
hilarious.
hard. We're going to have to find it in amongst all the shit. All right. So yeah, Brad Pitt won. Great. Actually, his speech was fantastic.
I did like his speech.
I thought it was wonderful. It was the perfect amount of everything.
Yeah. And
He-
best first award for acting. He's got it for producing.
Was it
but
his
this
first?
is his first for
great.
acting.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's exceptionally talented. Really, he's survived so well
Yeah.
despite what he could have been. Like, as just a very handsome, typical kind of attractive man in Hollywood. He's actually turned himself into a really, really, really great character actor. And yeah, I was thrilled.
It was good. I dug
Yeah.
it. I dug it.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
liked his kind of appreciation of, in his super cool Brad Pitt kind of way.
Yeah.
showing appreciation and getting a bit emotional for where he's come from.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome, man.
He's got,
he's
come a long way.
For a guy, like, I know it sounds ridiculous. He seems like a humble guy for the best looking man in the world. Like, he seems kind of humble.
Very, very humble.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's kind of nice to see.
He thanked Quentin.
Yes.
He thanked Leo.
Mm.
Kind of left Margot on the lurch.
Oh, yeah,
Margot on the
right.
lurch there.
Does he share any screen time with Margot Robbie?
No, he doesn't. But neither does Leo. Leo goes up to her house, doesn't he? At the end, knocks on the door, and that's it? Is that it?
It's highly likely he never met her. Brad Pitt.
Really?
Yeah.
On a Quentin set?
Well, I mean,
Quentin
maybe.
sets seem like really family orientated. Everyone's in
Possibly.
their own thing,
Yeah.
you know. I'm going to have
you're
lunch with, you know. I just thought it was weird.
No,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
It was pointed out to me.
she's probably the next. She's the next in line as far as the cast order would go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was weird.
It didn't trigger for me because I don't think. Because they didn't. For me, their characters were not important to each other. So
Yeah.
you know, maybe they actually didn't spend that much time together, and so it just kind of, you know, you don't get the opportunity in the heat of the moment when you're up there.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It's one of
That's
those things
what
that
I
would drop
dropped
out.
out to. I was like, yeah, he's probably nervous as hell.
Yeah, 100%.
What's the next one, Ty?
Well, the next one was for animated feature film.
Oh,
They kind of
animated
played
feature
around with the
film.
order.
Yeah.
Now, I went Toy Story 4. What did you go, Nick?
I know you can read my thoughts, boy.
Meow 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 meow.
All right, well, we did just pause briefly, and we went through and checked
We
our
checked
predictions.
What our predictions were.
So we know we won't have to do constant pauses. So we remember what we predicted.
We've got it all written down.
We've got it all written down. Nick, now you went...
I went Missing Link. Tyson.
Yes.
Missing Link, and you went Toy Story 4.
I did go Toy Story 4.
For the win.
It just seemed like I feel like when Pixar gets read out now as the winner, people just kind of go,
Be like, oh, yeah, cool, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same, three guys that no one knows who've probably won like 6 of these fucking things up there again.
And this is why I have issue. I was talking about this with the ladies that I was watching the Oscars with. I have issue with when a film wins best an award, and the producers who divvy up the money go up and accept it. Because I don't know what goes on, but I'm pretty sure all they do is divvy up the money for that. They don't write it. They don't direct it. They literally are just... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but
I think
that's not
in
what I'm saying.
certain circumstances... Because, no, don't the directors collect animated feature?
No, I think isn't it just producers?
I know. I mean, obviously, it's producers collect Best Picture. I have a feeling that the nominees for animated film, they bring up the director because there's no other way to acknowledge the director.
Okay.
So I think I know that's been that way in the past. I don't know if it is anymore.
All right.
I
just have gripes with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Oh,
it's
look,
ridiculous.
that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we obviously don't see the behind the scenes stuff.
So I don't know. I'm just speculating.
So
But yeah.
maybe it is more of a creative role. But it's like, even when like Shakespeare in Love wins or something,
Sure.
Weinstein didn't get up. You know what I mean? He's the money.
Yeah.
And then
And he knows that.
then there's the creative side producers. So maybe they're the ones that get
Well,
up.
hopefully there was. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the animated
next
short
one?
film, which was won by Big Hair.
Big Hair.
Is that what it's called?
And I really want to see that.
That looks cool,
great.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing, it looked really cool, didn't it?
It
and
did.
I appreciate that when you watch the little clips for the animated short films, the animation styles are also interesting.
Yeah, so
they all look
different.
so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't we getting this kind of stuff? Why are everything we're getting is computer animated?
Yeah.
That look like some guy looks like he made something out of like the garbage he found.
Yeah, the last
in
one
his kitchen.
was stop motion animated from garbage for his kitchen. Yeah, that's what it did look like.
But it looks so cool.
Yeah.
I felt like all it is making me want to watch the shorts, which
Back
I'm
in the
pretty
day,
sure.
I used to go and watch all.
Well,
of it,
you were
like,
saying because
all
there was
of
a day where you could go see them in a screening somewhere.
Yeah.
I think they're available now online in one spot. They tend to put them all online in one spot for you to see them.
And you can watch
Yeah,
them.
so I'm going to try and track them down because and even there's one about a dog, and so I was a bit kind of like, oh, I'd love to watch that. I can tell
That does
what
look
that's going to be
good.
like. It's going to be
I did
heartwarming
see
as
that.
fuck. And we didn't do tips on those ones, but just for my own pool with my friend Bebs.
Oh, yeah?
Hey Bebs.
Hey, Bebs.
I did get that one right. By the way, original screenplay was next. Original screenplay was the first pickup of the night
Original screenplay
for Parasite.
For Parasite.
Starting a bit of a trend for the evening.
We both got that one right.
We did get that one right. We
And
both
thank
picked
God.
original screen. We both picked Parasite for original screenplay. I was
Yeah.
rooting for Tarantino,
No.
but
And I was rooting for Knives Out.
yeah. And look, I'm not mad at all.
No.
We'll get to talking about Parasite a bit more towards the end of the show. If anyone has listened to the previous show, it was one of my top favorite movies of the year.
It was.
Only topped really by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I knew that Once Upon a Time wasn't going to end up in any of the big awards.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought, well, maybe this is the one it can win, and it acknowledges, the excellent work that Tarantino has done yet again. But it was not to be, but not for any kind of negative reason.
No.
It wasn't like a shit screenplay one. Parasite's still a masterpiece. So,
Stellar.
And yeah, it was really exciting. And as the night went on, we kind of saw this narrative shift, and all of a sudden, we were in a different ball game, which was pretty cool.
That was good.
Yes, and then after that, we of course had adapted screenplay.
Yep, which was taken home by
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
Yes, which was predicted by me, not by you, Nicholas.
What did I pick?
You picked Joker.
Okay.
Which is...
That's fine.
That's okay. Joker kind of had its couple of awards for the night. Jojo Rabbit had its couple of awards for the night.
Yep.
It was a big time share the wealth. Until it wasn't. And that's I kind of like those nights, to be honest, where it's like, oh yeah, everyone's getting a little bit of something. Oh,
and then
you don't know.
You know what?
And then
Parasite is the one.
and then it was just like, oh no, wait, this is all over.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later, but it's so funny to see a certain particular stat hold true again, because it's one of my favorites.
Oh really?
So I was glad to see it back in the mix. Taika Waititi must have been nervous as hell.
He was so nervous. You could tell that he was. He was speechless. And when you see interviews with him, he's not a speechless man.
So charming, so relaxed, so in charge of how he wants to present himself.
Yeah.
Was just a mess. Couldn't string together a sentence.
No.
Like
to the point where he's like,
fumbling.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Oh man.
And that's great. I like that. It is really
nice to see that, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's really effective.
It's one of those situations where he's the new kid in town, though.
He is.
And so for a lot of people, that have been around for a while, who don't know him from What We Do in the Shadows, or even like his great appearances in as Korg.
Yeah.
Are probably like, oh yes, let's see what this man's like. Oh, he's an idiot, is he? Oh, very good. So that was, especially because, like I said, I'm a big fan of him.
Scorsese's like, oh, who's this chap? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's an idiot, isn't he? He looks good, though.
Yeah, he did look sharp.
He always looks sharp.
Yeah.
He always
Tell
looks
you
sharp.
what, just wear a tuxedo. Like,
please, you don't.
No, it's like Spike Lee, do your thing, man. It's totally cool. I love
badass,
it. But I wanted to smack Timothée Chalamet in the back of his head.
What's wrong with that jacket? Was nice. I like that jacket.
It was like a tracksuit jacket.
No, it wasn't. It was a designer dinner jacket. It looked very nice.
It was not. It was. I guarantee you, it was made out of the same material that like Kappa shirts are made out of.
I liked it. It was quite nice.
No.
Timothée Chalamet, you've got my tick of approval.
I'm anti Chalamet at the moment.
Oh, I'm all about the Chalamet.
He's started to annoy me.
It's so funny. I wasn't right up until the point where I watched Little Women, and I was like, oh, Timothée Chalamet, you've kind of won my heart here.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a story about Little Women. We'll get there.
Oh, really? We'll get there. Okay. We're kind of missing the in betweens.
To be honest, I don't really recall many of the in betweens. We had the performances.
We did.
They were.
Oh, come on! You have to mention. I wish I knew how John Travolta pronounced the name, but Idina Menzel.
Oh yes, he presented it. Adele Dazim. Was exactly how he said.
Exactly how he said.
The wickedly talented Adele Dazim.
No, wrong. That performance was next level.
She sounded great. She was doing really well. I feel like there were fallback issues for most of the artists because they were all a little bit out of time.
But bringing them out, that was
cool.
Great.
A really nice idea.
I really love that.
Yeah. It's the staging of the numbers was relatively good. I thought for the whole night.
Sure.
Like there was nothing groundbreaking about any. I think Elton John kind of did his thing.
Yeah, he
exceptionally
tore
well
up the stage. Yeah.
But everyone else kind of, it was just there, and it was like, yep, there's that song. That's cool.
Good.
Diane Warren. Is it Diane Warren? Why do I think that's not her name anymore?
Diane Warren. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, the songwriter. Yeah, it is Diane Warren.
I think it's Diane Warren. Yeah.
God, why does that sound so weird right now coming out of my mouth? That song was just so like
Diane Warren.
exactly like every other song she's ever written in her life.
Yeah.
And I swear, even
I wasn't about that song. I really wasn't.
And then Randy Newman.
Oh, God. Who? Oh, God. Someone put him out to pasture, man.
Look,
seriously.
He's a national treasure and bless his heart. But we had this running joke where I was watching it with me and Bebo, was that each one of these songs was a song that was written on the toilet. Because none of the artists look like they worked more than half an hour on these songs.
No.
Because they are so them, but like track 7 on their 4th album, them.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how they all felt to me.
Really?
Like, it was just like, oh, yeah.
It was just
I can tell it's an Elton John song.
Yeah.
But if this wasn't for this movie, this would have been buried, deep in your B-sides.
Yeah. This is a B-side on the...
Yeah.
This is an extra track on your best of.
Exactly. Yeah. Didn't even make the first edition.
The first edition? No. This
they
is a
added
best
it on
of.
later.
Yeah. He's like, I've got a new song. Is it good? Nah.
And especially the Randy Newman one. My thing was Randy Newman found a chart underneath his coffee table when they rang him and said, "Oh, we need a song for Toy Story 4." And he's like, "I'm making a fourth one." He went digging under his coffee table and he found a chart for some song and went, "Here, just have this one."
Yeah. You have to sing it. What? Fuck, God damn it. Really?
What's it about?
I'm very
Toys.
comfortable.
What's happening to them? They're getting thrown away.
Is it the toys one again?
I will let.
God. What else?
Was there any other things in between? We'll have another think about in-betweens and a few more awards.
In-betweens and a few more awards. What's the next award, Tyson?
Live action short film.
No, we didn't do those.
We didn't predict that one, but that was won by the movie with the most ridiculous name of all the night, How to Play Basketball in a War Zone If You're a Girl.
Live action short film?
Yeah. Oh, no, that was that was the documentary short. I apologise.
Yes, this is The Neighbour's Window.
The Neighbour's Window, that's right. Pronounced as The Neighbour's Widow by Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
Because he was
currently
trying to help
his
bud.
Yeah, trying to help his cast member.
Yeah. Peanut Butter Falcon, the guy who it's I'm interested to see that movie. It has the worst title of all time. The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah.
It's like, when it's like an art house film generator created that title.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A BuzzFeed random.
Yeah. You put a whole bunch of different
things in, and it just comes out, spits out with whatever you want.
And like, is there a boat? Does it have a name?
Sure.
Is it kind of, like, what is the twee town that they live in?
What's your favourite colour?
And it comes up.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, the Peanut Butter Falcon.
It looks good though.
Yeah, but it also but it does look heartwarming at the same time, which I think it's all these indie films. That's how they get you. They make a heartwarming trailer with like some twee indie band playing an acoustic song about.
Give you a shitty title because you're going to remember the title because it's so shit.
Yeah, exactly. Give you a stupid ass title that you'll never forget. And then next thing you know, you're sitting and you're 45 minutes in a Peanut Butter Falcon and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? How did this happen?
Let's go see John Wick. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the next one, Tyson?
The Production Design Award.
Production Design. What do we have here?
Now, Production Design, Nicholas, you tipped 1917 and I predicted Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And Tyson took it away with that one.
I did. It was nice for Once Upon a Time to win a couple of things.
I like that it did win. It didn't get a lot of wins.
I think it won 2 in the end. Or did it only win the 1? And Brad Pitt. So I won 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which, is a bit of a shame because I think in other years, I think it's been a strong year.
Sure. You think it's been a strong year for film?
I actually do. Overall, I'm finding that the movies that I've watched this year for Oscars, I think have been far stronger than the movies I watched last year for Oscars.
Yes, I agree.
And so reflective on the year as a whole, I'm starting to find that most of my favourite films I'm liking a lot more than my favourite films from last year.
Right.
If you recall, last year I was kind of in a position where I didn't like so much stuff that I had to choose Mission Impossible Fallout as my favourite film of the year. Now,
Tyson,
I love Mission Impossible Fallout.
Who doesn't?
But I would have liked to have chosen something else, probably, because for me, I walked out of there being like, that was fucking great. I had a really good time. What a solid spy thriller. I'm so glad these Mission Impossible movies don't suck. And then at the end of the year, I was like, well, I guess it's my favourite movie of the year because it's the only one I wasn't like, about.
It's because you hadn't watched Hereditary yet.
No, I hadn't watched Hereditary yet. You're right.
That was my favourite film of last year.
Yeah, good one. Good one. Whereas this year, I'm actually kind of like, there are 3 or 4 films in most of the categories that I'm like thinking, that was good, and you deserve to be here for this, which is it's kind of nice to feel that way.
Yeah, that was. I think that's what the change was when you're watching it this time, especially because I watched all of them bar Harriet. I think Harriet and what was the? Damn it! What is her name? Misery.
Oh, Richard Jewell.
I didn't watch Richard Jewell, so they're the only two that I didn't watch. I watched
great.
everything else, even Rise of the Skywalker. But yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, it was quite tough because there were really some good films in there.
Yeah, and
even
so
the Two Popes, like I'd recommend a watch for that.
Yeah,
if you're on the borderline, you're like, yeah, maybe not. I'd give it a watch. It was not a bad film.
I thoroughly agree. Two Popes is the perfect example of the film that I would watch prior to Oscars.
Sure.
Now that it is post Oscars,
it's gone.
It's dead to me.
Yeah, you're never going to watch it.
I'm never going to watch the
and
Two
that's
Popes.
and I'm glad that I've watched it. Two Popes. Yeah,
I'm just being
100%.
honest.
No, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm literally in the same boat. There is no other
tell me
reason
when
why.
I'm going to want to watch a movie like that. I know, I know that you should be open to any forms of storytelling.
Yeah, but that's not interesting to you.
But
you don't find
at
that
some
interesting.
point, there needs to be just a little nugget of something that makes me go, yeah, I'm really keen to see that. And I'm afraid that in the Two Popes, there is not.
Exactly. They're like Tyson in the Two Popes. There's a... God, I got nothing.
Also, it kind
Kevin Costner just rocks up for some reason.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking. Now we've got a movie.
Now we're talking.
Sorry, is one of the Popes Kevin Costner? Because I'm right back in.
I mean, if it's Kevin Costner.
Could you imagine?
That'd be hilarious.
Starring Anthony Hopkins and Kevin Costner.
I'm in.
I'm so in.
I'm actually really in.
Oh, God.
It was good.
But yeah, the point of that whole rant is that I suppose we, in a strong year, it won 2 awards. That's pretty good. I think in other years it could have won more, and I'm sad because Tarantino keeps getting stuck in as the kind of the also ran.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deserve to be the also ran. I think a lot of his films deserve to be the one that at the end of it, because think about their longevity. We're still talking about those movies, and we're not talking about some of the other ones.
Yeah. Everyone says, have you seen Pulp Fiction? Which still got robbed.
Yeah.
It still got robbed.
I mean, Forrest Gump was a huge thing for a little while, but people don't give two shits about Forrest Gump now.
No.
Whereas Pulp Fiction is still being revisited. Like new film lovers, people who are just getting into film now, are going back and watching Pulp Fiction the same way we went back to watch Taxi Driver.
Sure.
Like Godfather.
Yeah,
like
good point.
when it was the 90s.
Yeah.
They're not going back to watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tarantino's just continually not quite there.
Well, maybe he'll let it out of the park next year.
Well, he's only got a little bit left, though.
What do you mean he's got a little bit left?
He's
What does that mean?
retiring after
Do you know
10 films.
Oh, fuck off. He is not.
That's the whole story, man.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe it either.
for a second.
I believe it. He'll retire when he wins. He's gonna.
Yeah.
He knows because he knows he's so close every time.
Exactly.
Yes, that was production design. Then we moved on to costume design,
Costume?
which was one of the only awards for Little Women, I believe,
Oh, really?
for the night. Was that the only award for Little Women in the end?
Oh, my God. Yes, it was.
Yes. We both got this wrong. We both picked Jojo Rabbit
Oh, did we?
as our prediction.
Nice.
But although it was
I like
funny
that we
because
got
we
it wrong.
both came at it from saying Little Women is probably going to win this, but I've got
it's
a
the period
feeling.
piece. Yeah, because
And
it's the period piece.
yeah.
But yeah.
Which is a shame because at this stage of it, it was actually all the awards were just going to the ones that you thought, like by this point, there wasn't really a surprise yet.
Yeah,
Maybe original screenplay,
That's
but not
true.
really.
And then there was a surprise, Tyson. A beautiful thing happened. I'm kidding. For some reason, Eminem came out, Tyson.
Oh, is this when it was?
I have no idea. I'm chucking it in because you said that there was no surprises. And then...
Oh.
And then Eminem came out, Tyson. And then, is it 18 years late? He decided to do Lose Yourself. Was it 18? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, my God.
So we got a very...
It was such a...
It was around the time of the Score Awards, actually, I think it was, or the Song Awards.
Right.
But we had this kind of... someone came out, was it... was that the one Lin-Manuel Miranda was talking about? Was that when he was talking about film music and stuff like that? And I thought, okay, well, that's what they're going to do. We haven't had a real montage yet, so we're going to get one talking about the songs.
Yeah.
The iconic songs from the movies. Then we get this hideously, terribly edited thing. It was awful.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, here is 4.5 bars of one song, and then we're going to awkwardly cut into a different song in a different key that has no relationship to that song whatsoever. And then every now and then they tried to relate them, and they would cross over words. but they did it maybe twice in the whole package.
Yeah.
It was fucking awful.
It was bad.
And I was really upset because I'm like, you're telling me that they couldn't get someone in to write like an amazing medley, an actual musician who could sit down and go, okay, you can modulate to here, we can go to here now, and run the packages over the top, have the band. You've got a fucking orchestra down there. Use them.
I'm pretty sure Lin-Manuel could, just in 5 minutes.
I mean, it was embarrassing.
It was.
And so I was really upset considering that could have been... Like, all the choices were great. All the choices were wonderful. But it was put together by someone who does not understand music at all.
No.
The editing package.
It was horrible. Yeah. It was horrible.
And then, it hovered on for a little while.
And then
we got a little bit of Rabbit. And him doing the speech in the mirror.
And at that point, you were like, okay, this is clearly going to move somewhere else.
I was just like, oh yeah, great. Of course, we're going to get to Lose Yourself. I love and to be quite honest, in a non-ironic way, that's one of my favorite winners of that category.
Right.
Because it's like an absolute fucking awesome R&B rap tune, produced so well.
Yep.
Eminem's fucking great at what he does.
He does.
Actually won.
Yep.
Best song. You know what I mean? It's kind of like didn't Hard Out Here? It's hard out here for a pimp. Didn't that win as well?
I have no idea. Probably
in its year.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's
from Hustle and Flow.
from Hustle and Flow, and it's so good when songs like that win because it's not the. It probably beat a Disney song, and that's pretty fun.
That's
really.
great, exactly.
So yeah, I was happy to see it.
If anything's going to beat Frozen or beat whatever, be it something like that. Be it a real song.
Legitimately exceptional at what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just kind of stuck around for a little bit longer, and then I started in my head like, oh my god, are we about to get Eminem on stage?
We're about to get Eminem, and we did, and we got Eminem on stage.
Eminem. It was so strange.
It was so left. It was the leftist that this thing just
it was.
I was like, what is going on?
It was. And you could see people Eminem? Confused.
Adina Menzel was like, what the fuck?
What is going on?
Young people were like, oh yeah, I remember this. I love this song.
Yeah, I love how for young people, like Billie Eilish, it's like a throwback tune. Yeah. It's like retro
massive
for her.
Throwback.
And then you've got...
She was one when that fucking...
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got people like us who are sitting there like, oh, this is the best fucking song ever. And they cut to some... I couldn't tell who it was because she was rocking out too hard.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was just throwing her head around. Yeah. I'm like, oh god.
Okay, cool.
Everyone's having a good time.
Throws it to... Did you remember it throws it to Martin Scorsese and he was like, huh? What?
What do you call this? I don't know, man. If it's not the Rolling Stones, Marty doesn't want to have a bar of it.
Marty's out, yeah.
Yeah, so what a bizarre experience that was. And look, I love Eminem as a, I like I said, non-ironically really enjoy
but I just
stuff.
didn't understand why he was there. Like, he won for that and didn't show up or didn't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know the full story. And then, sure, I'm going to accept this award. Like, he didn't accept the award, but he got to play the song. I don't know.
I assume he's grown up as a person. He was quite a lot younger then. Maybe he's not as angry. Maybe he's not as fuck you establishment.
Sure.
Maybe he's a bit more kind of like, you know what, it would have actually been nice because it is a group of peers acknowledging the art that I create, and it's not a negative
for
thing.
That one song.
So yeah, I mean, it was strange, but I mean, what are you going to do though? Like, you think about it. So this is what they're trying to do with some guy coming out and rapping the first half of the show, or and just like as a previously on the Oscars, we just had the guy coming, and it was fucking great.
He was good. He was good at what he did.
But
freestyling.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? You've got all these young people. Billie Eilish doing the In Memoriam. Same thing again. Really respected her performance. It was quite lovely, but at the same time,
why is she there?
I don't think that's her position yet. Like,
no.
where
she knew no one that was in that memoriam.
I guarantee you 100% she wouldn't have known a single soul in that list. Probably never heard Yesterday before they asked her to sing it.
Exactly.
And, I'm making assumptions. I'm not sure about that. But
no, she didn't.
I always thought there's a certain amount of, not that you've earned it, but
No, but you get people who couple with that. I would prefer Streisand singing that.
Well, because
there's a bit more elegance to it rather than Billie Eilish, who, in her own right, there are a couple of songs that I love that Billie Eilish has.
I think she's quite
great. She's great.
She's really good.
Fluoro green hair and extremely long fingernails. Maybe not.
She was doing a thing. That was a look.
That's great.
It was a choice.
It's great.
When you sit down and watch the Oscars, you want to be kind of overwhelmed by the celebrity, I think. So when a presenter comes out, you get excited because you're like, it's one of your favorite celebrities that you've watched for years. And that's what the Oscars used to be. It would be star after star after star.
Yep.
But now, in an attempt, I think, to try and be more relevant,
or to pull in a bit of a
maybe
different
to bring
audience.
in a younger audience,
Sure.
I think they've actually alienated their core audience, who do like. I don't necessarily agree with your example, but I think the idea of that is perfect. That Barbara Streisand singing it is
I couldn't give a shit who it is, but anyone,
bloody Bruce Springsteen, or
Michael Bublé.
Yeah, he's maybe a bridger.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bridging point.
Yeah. If you're going to go for that pop, do you know what I mean? Like, that type of artist, then
like Jennifer Hudson, maybe, because she's won
an Oscar. Yeah.
You put her on there singing the In Memoriam, it seems more like she belongs. Like it's like
what's happening.
The people, we as an audience go, oh yeah, because I loved her in this thing, and God, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Not that one person that's had that weird song that's now being used in every single commercial ever,
and she's just she's won a shitload of awards, which is great, good on her. But it was just, I know
we're sounding like old men yelling at clouds.
I know we are
massively, and I apologize in advance, but any other time it's totally fine. For some reason, when it's the Oscars, that's just where I get a little bit kind of like, no, don't infect it with all the youth.
Oh, you old man. That was hilarious. No, I didn't mind. But yeah. Next award.
Now that we've well and truly alienated any of our audience under 30.
That's true.
Let's keep going. What do we got?
Fuck Billie Eilish. No, I'm kidding.
No, but this thing, I like her.
I love Billie Eilish. She's great.
I really like her. I think she's very talented.
Some great songs, man.
Some other
I actually, and the only other thing that maybe could have, and maybe the reason why she is there, she is doing the new Bond song.
She is she?
She is. So I was like, well, if the song was out already, then sure.
Maybe.
It maybe would have made a bit more sense.
Sure.
But because
so maybe
it's
a good
not,
choice for next year, maybe she would have been.
Exactly. But next year she may be nominated for that song.
Sure. But so I know we're going around in circles.
Sorry.
But usually the performers also have a relationship with cinema.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's where it's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're saying. They've had people on there, and yes, you might say, like, oh, well, Dave Grohl did it, right? But he has a relationship with cinema. He's produced documentaries on film, on music. He's been in movies, and like he works with, he's done composition for cinema before and stuff like that. And so there's a relationship there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it needs to be. Maybe you need to have a certain relationship with the cinema industry, and then as a performer, you come in and it's like, of course you're welcome because you're part of this family. Yeah. It's like if a random member of One Direction was doing it. Yeah. Not the one that was in Dunkirk, one of the other ones.
Not the one that was in Dunkirk.
Because he could do it. He's been in a movie. It's fine.
Exactly. Get Justin Timberlake to do it.
JT, it's a perfect example. But I mean, weird because when you see JT, you just want to have a good time. You don't want him to sing a sad ballad.
Why not? That's the thing. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, maybe.
Cry Me a River is a sad song.
But tell me you don't want to boogie to that thing, though.
You don't. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's got a sick beat.
Cry Me a River. Are you kidding me? That is hilarious. What is the next award, you old man?
I complained about youths and then just said sick beat in the course of a minute and a half.
You did indeed.
No, it's the children that are wrong. So, what do we got here? Documentary feature was won by American Factory, which I did pick.
And I picked
Fosama, which is a pretty safe bet anyway. I have not seen American Factory. I know it's on Netflix. It's just sitting there waiting.
Is it?
I was going to watch it. And then didn't, and I can't remember why.
Well, there's the grab to get it to watch it now because it's one Best Picture.
That's it. Best documentary. I love a good documentary.
Yeah. For Summer, there's a lot of buzz around.
And there is for Summer as well. But I've heard for Summer is like the depressing one.
Yeah, it's not an easy watch. No.
Documentary short subject, as I mentioned before, is the film with the most amazing title of all time. Can you read that title again for me, Nicholas?
The one that won?
Yes.
Learning to skateboard in a war zone. if you're a girl.
Yes. So, and it's written with the brackets for the if you're a girl part.
If you're a girl, yeah.
It's we have a gag with my friend Bebs.
Yeah.
And it's for the short film. You can choose the winner by which one sounds better when you read it aloud in nomination voice.
Oh.
That's how you can pick the winner. So you look at all these movies and
the
you go...
nominations are Walk, Run, Cha-Cha.
So it's called Walk, yeah, but you've got to have the right inflection on it.
Okay.
It's like Walk, Run, Cha-Cha.
Okay.
And then
St. Louis Superman.
St. Louis Superman, etc., etc. But then when you get to this one...
Learning to skateboard in a war zone if you're
perfect.
a girl.
Learning to skateboard in a war zone if you're a girl. It just... And as soon as you hear that, you're like...
Well, that's going to
Well, that's going to win. I mean, obviously, it's going to win.
It's not going to be in the absence. It's true. I like it.
It's a fun game.
Good game.
Actress in a supporting role, Nicholas.
Actress in a supporting role.
Now, this went to Laura Dern,
This did
as
go to
expected.
Laura Dern.
We got the tips on that.
That's true.
Marriage Story, the acting... Look, I mean, it's no surprise. The acting awards went exactly as we thought they would.
Now,
yes.
when we did that episode, I
Yes.
had not watched Marriage Story.
Oh, right. Cool. What did you think of Marriage Story,
She
Nicholas?
did not deserve this.
This is what I hear.
She was in the movie for fucking 10 minutes.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like to retract.
But this is the thing. I knew it was coming.
My God.
But,
So, yeah, seeing the movie, Marriage Story, my take on Marriage Story aside, I think it's been done better.
Sure.
The acting in it is stellar. That's why you watch it. But yeah, man, seriously, I thought Florence or Margot. Now that I've watched everything, apart from Kathy Bates, man, Laura Dern out of that was left field for me. I was going with what you said only because I'd looked at what awards she had won and she'd already taken everything.
she'd been winning everything.
So I was like, okay, well, clearly it's going to be Laura Dern. Watched Marriage Story. Oh, that's odd that she's taken everything.
Yes.
So that's what people are saying, are they?
After watching Jojo Rabbit, I'm surprised that Scarlett Johansson was not more touted to win earlier. Because I think the emotional impact of her character in that film, I think, cannot be understated.
And she was actually in the fucking film.
Well, and it helps that she's actually in the thing. But she is such a driving force to that story, and to Jojo's character development. That's what I always think a supporting role should be. It's like, yes, it's not necessarily your screen time, but it's the impact that you feel not only when the character's on screen, but when the character is not on screen, that their presence still drives part of the story. Yeah, and I think so much about what ScarJo was doing in that shaped Jojo and shaped the relationship between Jojo
Laura Dern did at all.
And that's what I get from I haven't seen Marriage Story, but that's everything that I've read about Marriage Story. And the complaints about her winning everything has the opposite thing, is saying that her role, she comes in, she talks some stuff, but she's gone, and the movie doesn't benefit from her doesn't benefit from her absence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's important. Like, you should still feel the character when they're not on the screen. It doesn't.
What was the running time for Anthony Hopkins' silence?
It's like 13 minutes or something like that.
That is exactly what you just said.
Yes, exactly.
So you're missing their presence on that screen and you can't wait until they're back on that screen. He won Best Actor, not supporting.
Yeah.
Actor.
That would never happen again, by the way.
For 13.
Never in a million years.
13. You don't know that. It could.
No, he would. I would put $1 million that they'd never allow that to be a best actor nomination again. He'd be in best supporting for sure.
But Jesus, that was
But yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Because every frame of that movie that he's not in, you feel his presence.
Yep. And you're missing it. You're waiting until he comes on screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. So Laura Dern. Congrats, though. Bit of a career award then, obviously.
Yeah. Which I like. I like career awards, which is why I thought Michael Keaton was going to win it for Birdman and was really fucking livid when he did.
Yeah, it's different.
God, damn it.
Laura Dern, and I think Laura Dern's in a different ballpark where Laura Dern, I don't think, has done anything like crap. Has she ever done anything bad, Laura Dern, do you reckon?
Is it that, or is it because she comes from film royalty?
Maybe.
Because that's where I thought it was pulling from.
Oh, okay.
So, of course, she thanked Mum and Dad in a thing.
Got to see Bruce Dern before he shuffles off because he's 174.
Exactly. Still winning awards, though.
Oh, yeah, he's great. I love Bruce Dern. But
yeah, Mum was in the audience. Let's tip the hat off to Mum. It was kind of a big deal. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree with that as I think it's a terrible idea because you're perhaps limiting the ability for the actor to win it for something else. But having said that, I think, when you look at someone like Laura Dern and you're like, well, she should have an Oscar. Damn right she should have an Oscar. And so it's kind of like, well, she's good in this. She's not in it much.
Should she?
Yeah, look, she's pretty great.
Jurassic Park, a lot of Lynch. What else has she done?
Yeah, that's kind of...
That's it?
That's the Lynch stuff that I like.
Stuff.
It's the
I know
it's her reliability. Like, for instance, she pops up in The Master, right? For tiny role.
Sure.
In it for maybe less than 10 minutes, makes a huge impact.
Yep.
And is really, really good. And I think that's kind of that's her career.
Yeah.
Like when she hasn't been a lead, she's like Last Jedi, same thing. Really valuable contribution. She's always really, really...
She was really strong.
Good.
Really
strong. Anyway, let's move
on.
So we had the sound editing and sound mixing categories. Now, these were... I realised that my tips that I gave on the podcast were different from the tips I made on the day.
Okay.
So on the day, I did what you did, which is have them around the wrong way.
Okay. So,
whereas on the podcast, I got one of them right. So sound editing went to Ford versus Ferrari, sound mixing went to 1917. And I really could have sworn they would go the other way, to be honest.
That's all right.
After seeing 1917, and really, the sound isn't really...
Did I get them right? Is that what you're saying?
No, you flipped them.
I flipped them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The sound in 1917 isn't really a feature to me. There's nothing that made me kind of the same way even just the bloody clips I've seen of Ford versus Ferrari does. They feel so visceral, those car sounds. Like, it feels really like a very... You're right there in the mix.
Yeah.
1917, obviously a much more visual kind of experience. Yes, like the sound design is really great because it is immersive as well, but I just figured it would go the other way. So strange that it didn't, but what do I know?
That's all right.
I'm not voting for these fucking things.
What's the next one?
Cinematography was next.
Cinematography.
Which went to, of course, Roger Deakins for 1917.
Which we knew.
He was always going to win that. He's a lovely man.
Do you have any inkling to see The Lighthouse? Which was nominated. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's Robert Eggers who directed The Witch. So I love The Witch.
Yeah.
So I will see The Lighthouse. Plus, I've heard a rumour that William Dafoe fucks a mermaid in that film. So
And you're in for that, are you?
I am interested in that.
Good Lord, man, you're a bit twisted and fucked. Okay.
It's Willem Dafoe, though.
And that's supposed to sway me?
I reckon. Is there anyone seriously out there that doesn't want to see William Dafoe fuck a mermaid? I don't believe you people. I think you're lying.
Oh, my God. Okay. This is a very different podcast. Oh, my God. Oh, what is the next one?
So next up then, Nick, was... Film editing.
Which we picked, didn't we? We
did
said
pick.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Have you seen this yet, Tys? No. Are you going to? Is this one that will kind of... Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, 100%.
Is it because it's...
James Mangold.
Yeah,
100%.
Okay, good.
I really enjoy him as a director. I don't think I've missed any of his movies now. So
yeah, right. He is quite a good director, isn't he?
Going all the way back to Girl Interrupted. I think that was a James Mangold movie.
To pass. That was one of those times where everyone was like, have you seen Girl Interrupted? I was like, can you fuck off with Girl Interrupted?
You're right. That is one of those movies.
Go away. You've made me hate it and I haven't even seen it yet. I watched it. It was a good movie.
Just a good old-fashioned movie.
And that's what I'm going to leave it at? Like it's...
There is a thing such as... that is on another podcast that I like to listen to where they call It's Just a Movie.
It's just a movie.
And that doesn't mean that it's bad or good.
Yeah.
You can be a really good time at the movie and sometimes it's just a movie.
No, it was better than that. It was a good movie. Marriage Story was a movie.
But I thought you didn't like Marriage Story.
Yeah, I didn't.
So this is what I mean. Just a movie you can really enjoy yourself.
Okay,
but you can walk away at the end and just be like, that was just a movie.
Sure.
That was fine. That was like, but I don't have to.
Okay.
Movies don't have to be like, oh my God,
that was intense.
That was the best fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It's changed how I feel about my entire existence. Like movies can just be good, and then you walk out and
you're like, that was entertaining.
Finished with it.
Yeah.
So I get that might be the vibe for Ford versus Ferrari, and I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah. That's okay. That's totally what it is.
James Mangold did direct Girl Interrupted. I had that poster on my wall.
Oh, do you really?
I don't now. It was my high school wall where I used to steal
Say
all
high
the.
school wall then.
I said I had
Oh,
on
you
my
had
wall.
it. Okay. I had that on my wall.
They were all the posters I used to steal from the video store.
Nice.
Yes.
I did the same.
And I used to cut off the bit down the bottom that said "Now on DVD."
Now on DVD.
So it looked like the cinema posters.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
I'm not putting. You don't want that shit up. Oh, you did that too. Yeah. You don't want that shit on your wall. No. You don't want to see that.
No one wants to see that.
Yes, very good editing. That was a pretty. I miss the days when editing was like a good indication of your best picture winner. It doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Editing is kind of up for grabs now. Editing is just like, wow, look at all these shots and stuff.
Yeah, you said that before, and that is kind of where it's aiming at. 'Cause
Editing used to be...
Editing kind of makes the film. If you get a good editor, you've got a great film.
Yeah.
If you get someone shit who doesn't know what they're doing, not that you do in something like this, but
No.
yeah, cheesy. It kind of makes or break it, you know?
And I just, there was, for a long time, it was screenplay, editing were like your real strong indications that you were going to win.
Cinematography? Was that never...
To a degree.
Yeah?
But it's strangely enough, editing was stronger than production design, cinematography, score, any of those other ones. It was, they were your two big ones. If you win a screenplay and then you win editing,
Right.
you're in business, you're probably going to win
probably
Best
gonna
Picture
win it.
and then
Okay.
Director. But
Didn't
that
know
was
that.
prior to when the directors would split. It's like, it's a strongish stat.
strong-
It's
yeah.
not the like be all end all.
Yeah.
We had a
Okay.
few be all end alls that kind of went the way of the dodo this year, which is really great.
Big fan of.
But yeah, that was one of them, and I do because I just used to love putting my weight behind the editing, because that was always a good indication.
Good showing.
Anyway, no one knows anything, so what are we going to do?
It's all crapshoot.
It's all a crapshoot, isn't it?
What was the next one?
Next one was visual effects.
Visual effects, okay. And this is where we chime in with the fact that we realised... two things I'd like to bring up. One, we had some presenters. We had Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph, who proved that hosting the Oscars is the thing, and you just have to get the right ones. I had never laughed so fucking hard that I had to pause and fucking run to the toilet because I was going to piss myself.
This is the thing about the two of them, is that like they're best friends, which helps. So their rapport is excellent.
Their timing is amazing.
Their timing is amazing.
Because they've been on SNL for so long.
Yes, they are legitimately funny people. And so you let them just come out. I found it quite... I think on a similar position, I think Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus were also really funny.
They were...
Less, like, no, not as funny.
Not as
I
funny,
enjoyed
though.
their bit.
Yeah, same.
Because, it was... We'll get to that in a second. Oh, have we already done that award? It was cinematography.
That was
so they have
cinematography.
already done. So
and editing.
We'll talk about both of them.
Yeah.
So, Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig, very just silly, going all out. It
was great.
Really, very, very funny. Sung a hilarious song at the end. That's what the fucking song montage would have been. That's how you link songs together, fucking guy who made the other clip.
God, it was good.
That's how you do it.
Come on.
And look, let him come out any time in the world. And I love that Maya Rudolph, like, is probably not as famous as Kristen Wiig.
Not as. She's up there, but she's not as.
She's not like... I don't think Men on the Street knows her.
Yeah, sure.
As really anything other than best friend from Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
But I love that she gets in there and she lets them all have it. She just does her thing. She's so funny.
So good.
Yeah,
so good. And then we get Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Who are great.
Who are great.
They were great.
Yeah. The only thing that I remember once reading about one of the technical crew kind of departments cracking the sads because every time celebrities come out to announce their award, they make a gag about
what the fuck does this person do?
What does this person do?
Yeah.
And I think it was something like the worst one and the one that made them so angry was when they talk about cinematographers as the people that make the actors look good. and this person was kind of like, that is honestly what I care about less than zero is what you fucking look like.
That is not my job.
Yeah.
At all.
Exactly.
I love that.
I was a little
that.
bit kind of like, I didn't love the
Yeah.
we don't really know what a cinematographer does.
Yeah.
Having said that, I did laugh because it was very funny. The setup was great, and the punchline worked a treat.
It did. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And you had to kind of stay with them because you at the start you were like, oh, this is not landing. This is not landing.
Yeah.
This is not landing. But they're masters at their craft, and they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this is where, because of this award, which is visual effects.
Oh yes, that's why we're talking about this. Because then you have the opposite
of funny, and they didn't take the piss, and oh dear God,
they literally stood there in cats' outfits.
Yep.
There was not a joke there.
No.
They were just in the cat's outfits,
Yep.
and then James Corden pretended to bat away the microphone, probably doing damage to a very expensive microphone. But that's fine. You know,
take it out of his budget. He has a lot of money. But yeah, I was like, you have a moment right now to really kind of, get people going. You know, he was a good sport about it. They brought out the fucking shittest film of 2019. And you know what? Just because of that, I am going to see it because I'm kind of a little interested anyway. Awesome. Let's see it. No. James Corden, fuck you.
there is also a bit of a like biting the hand that feeds you kind of thing as well.
Yeah,
Which
right?
I didn't love very much. It's all well and good. Cats is probably a piece of garbage and the visual effects probably do suck.
They do.
That's fine. But like save it for the Razzies.
Save for the Razzies.
It's not.
Good point.
It doesn't really, when Ben fucking Stiller came out dressed as a Na'vi, that wasn't to hang shit on that movie.
No.
That was because it was culturally there at the time.
Exactly.
And that makeup job they did on him looked amazing. Amazing.
That would have been such a fucking... Every time I see that clip, it was such a fucking pain to get off. Like, that's a good hour sit to get that shit off. Oh.
There was a little run there where they just got Ben Stiller to do every visual effects award because he'd always do something really funny.
He would.
But just having him come out in bad, like, dime store cat outfits and just be like, oh, this would have looked better, wouldn't it? Company that spent $300 million on this movie.
Or just come out in literally, like, the most amazing outfits and just go, so, we did a film that no one saw. It's called The Cats.
Yeah.
We'd like to sing it for you now. And then,
We're going to do a little highlights package.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That'd be hilarious.
Visual effects went to 1917. We both picked that one.
Nice. I like it.
Well done.
What was the next one?
Makeup and hairstyling, which I think we also both picked, which went to Bombshell.
Bombshell. Yes.
Yeah.
This is another one, Tyson.
Yes.
Are you going to watch Bombshell?
I would like to, yes, very much.
Good, good.
I was equally impressed because I hadn't seen many clips of it. What John Lithgow looks like in that movie.
I hated that they put that in because that is a mad spoiler for the film. And I was like, it's great because he looks so fucking good.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
he looks great.
He looks so good.
That was a legit convincing double chin.
Wait till you see what he does. Okay. This is John Lithgow. The man should be in award shows. God damn it! Like,
that's someone that I want to see more. When are we going to John Lithgow a fucking Oscar?
Exactly.
God, he's good.
Next one.
Get out of here, you!
Jesus Christ!
I said go. What does he say to him? No one wants you here.
Get out of here. Go. Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, man. Heartbreaking. International feature film.
I love that they've changed the title
it's great.
of this.
It opens up all kinds of doors. It's great.
It really does.
Your movie can be it's just your movie's anywhere, except so would an Australian film be eligible?
Yeah.
Would a British film be eligible?
I'm guessing so, yeah.
Okay, so I think I need to see some, like...
Or is it
I think there needs to be some caveats to this.
All right, or is it a film that is not in English?
Well, no, because then they wouldn't have changed it from foreign language film. This is where I'm...
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to do some research because I'm going to look further because...
Okay, I don't think anything has changed. I think just the title has changed.
So nothing else has changed about it? They've just changed the title?
Yeah.
Does that mean, though, because were Australian films eligible before now? No, because it was a foreign language film category. So maybe Australian films are available now? I feel like it can't be
of what we make
standard westernized countries. I don't think they should be eligible for this category. It'd be weird if a British film was in there, like if one year The Full Monty was like nominated for international. Do you know what I mean?
Or something more relevant, The Gentleman.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Sure. It just feels like it would take away from the point of the award, which is to shine the spotlight
to showcase other countries'
cinema that we don't get. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will explore further. Of course, it was won by Parasite.
Fucking shoe in, man. You
absolute
kidding
shoe in.
Yeah.
That would have been
Bizarre.
the biggest upset of the night had it not won.
Yeah.
Then we had original score and original song, which, as I was saying before, we had our
Nice.
lovely little montage and things like that. We had some good performances.
God damn it.
We did get a really nice performance from the score, from the orchestra of all the scores.
Oh, we did. That was nice.
Yeah,
I
which
did
is
like
great.
that.
And that was good to hear. Conducted by a female orchestra leader, which was really cool.
The first time it's ever been done.
Yep.
Yep.
Which was very fun. And yeah, it was very typical of those kind of. I remember we were just kind of listening to the music and we're like, "Yep, that sounds like something that he'd write for sure."
Yeah, sure.
That's the most desplat I've ever heard. All little tinkly piano and strings behind him, and it was won by Joker, which I do think was probably the best choice. I think I talked about this last time. And
We
said,
did, yeah.
I don't like it in the
one
movie,
stuck with us.
but I like it as music the most.
And she was gobsmacked. That was really, I loved how she accepted it all.
Yeah,
she was so cute up there. She just didn't know what to say.
Yeah, and it's so
She
nice
was-
when people are legitimately overwhelmed
Yeah.
by getting this award, because for some people it is. How about the lady that was like, who won? I think she won for documentary short. Mm-hmm. Who said, I received a student Oscar from who was it? Kakor, wasn't it?
I forget who it was.
Yeah,
But yeah, I know what you're talking
and she basically
about.
was like, this industry's fucked.
Yeah.
It's the hardest shit in the world.
Yeah, I've been
and
in
I've
this
had
for
to,
that
I've had to
long.
fight this long to get up here for a fucking documentary short.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like.
Yeah.
She was like,
She literally just hogged the mic.
loved
That
it.
other woman didn't even get a say. And I was like,
Mate.
ooh, she's got something to say.
I felt like she was about to put out a cigarette on the
Yeah.
stage and spit.
Or just, yeah.
and then walk off.
Fuck you, Scorsese. I'm looking at you, kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I've been around,
Exactly.
I've seen
She's
some
been
things.
around. She's seen some shit.
Yeah.
And original song went to Elton John, of course.
Elton John. Nice,
Having seen them,
nice speech.
yeah, and of course a nice speech, and it's great. Bernie Taupin's the best. Having seen them all, I think probably it should have been Frozen 2. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the better song this year. Do you know what? I hated Let It Go, and I didn't want to.
sorry?
I didn't want to. Oh, that song.
That's because you.
drives
That's because
me up the wall.
that is because you are a music teacher.
I did
And
have to hear it
Sure,
quite a lot.
you've heard it a fuck ton.
Yeah, but even when it was like fresh, I was like, this wasn't doing it for me, and so it only got worse the more everyone else loved it.
And have you seen Frozen?
No,
Aha!
well, it's because of
I
that.
was exactly the same until I saw the film.
I'm sure it's great in the film.
Please.
Yeah, I just think musically, I think I like Into
It
the
was
Unknown.
it was a
Out
better.
of the
It was a better
five we
song.
heard, I think I
Yeah.
probably liked it the best.
Good point. I'm digging it. What did we pick?
We both did pick Rocket. Oh no, you picked Frozen and I picked Rocket Man. So
I knew it because the songs I'd listened to all of them previously, and I was like, no, I like that song better.
yeah, in context, I'd heard bits and pieces. That Diane Warren song, it's no good.
I didn't even get through that.
It's just
I was
so
like, I'm
typical.
done.
Like I
I'm
just
done.
want to, and like I said, the Randy Newman one, it's whatever, he found it. And
Yeah.
back
You
of a
don't
drawer.
really care.
What do we got next? That was an odd choice to have score and songs so late in the night as well, I found.
No, I like that.
You like that?
I like that
Yeah.
because
Usually songs that late because they've got to play them all.
Yeah.
But score, yeah.
no, I like them that late.
All right, nice.
Because I don't know. I like it. I like it in between. I like cinematography where it starts. Where I really, when it really starts getting going is cinematography, score, and then adapted screenplay, original screenplay, and directing.
Well, they tend to do the screenplays pretty early because I feel
Yeah.
like they need something of substance early on to
They
kind
do,
of
yeah.
hook people in.
Back in the day when they started and did all it wasn't until the last half hour where everything
Yeah, when it
just
was all
sizzled.
good.
Yeah.
Then we had director, which
Director.
was so amazingly though, Nick,
nice.
we both said when we were predicting, we predicted the upset here, and we got the chocolates.
Yeah.
because we did both predict Parasite to win this
We
award.
did. We did.
Our justification was not so much true in the end because we thought that maybe a split was occurring.
Sam was gonna
and
jump
maybe
in.
that they'd give pitch at a 1917 and then want to reward Parasite for direction.
Yep.
Turns out they just fucking loved it sick, and it got both.
It's fucking decent.
But yeah, I'm still proud of us that we managed to pick that for Parasite for directing because I don't think many people would have,
No.
considering the lead up that 1917 had.
Especially like that is, and I mentioned it last episode, like Martin Scorsese, the fact that Joker did so well with Todd Phillips, Sam Mendes, and Quentin, like, and especially because Quentin still has not won one.
And he hasn't won direction, has he?
You know.
Crazy.
Insane.
Crazy.
Insane.
But we'll talk more about Parasite in a second. We had actor in a leading role, which was Joaquin Phoenix, of course.
And then we get a very interesting acceptance speech.
Yes. Look, I actually found both of their speeches very interesting for different reasons. Joaquin's was like a TED Talk on veganism.
It was.
And that's totally fine. Man.
Sure.
But like I said, it's a bit echo chambery. This is, you know, where the people that still watch the Oscars generally are the people that are already trying their best to help
vegans.
out.
We're already vegans.
We're not all vegans, okay? It's okay. I know that, you know, that's fine. Like, everyone has, you know, there's causes that people want to promote and all that kind of stuff.
That's great.
You know, but generally, we're the people that are out there trying to fight for our causes. We've all got our own individual causes, but we're trying to work pretty hard for them to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
He's more than welcome to have that soapbox for that time, but he's got to be aware that it's going to alienate some people. I think some people just don't want to hear that.
It's because they like to be entertained and they've already heard it. They've just come from hearing it.
Maybe because, exactly. And, you know, I'm not saying don't, you know, because that makes me a bit of a hypocrite because I don't want to be one of those people that are
say whatever you want to say.
Actors shouldn't have a say. I think they absolutely should have a say and they should use their fame to do as much good as humanly possible. I'm saying that it's funny that in the Oscars, it feels like that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
When it's not really. No. It's out on the street. It's on the interview with, like, Regis and Kathy Lee
and Fox.
If you ever end up on a Fox like entertainment program,
that's when
they're like, well, what do you care about? And it's like, well, this is what I care about.
Yeah,
like this audience isn't your enemy. This audience is your friends.
Yeah. He was a little lost though. I think he was a little. It was meandering. He said at the start that, and he kind of, when everyone stand ovation, and you know, he was like, "Oh, this is way too much. This is way too much vanity right now."
Yeah.
You know,
I love how quickly he's just like, "Oh, sit down."
Yeah.
As soon as they get up,
let's stop this.
Nice to have a little mention of his brother, and you know, and that's, you know, that was some nice, you know, there was some nice elements there, and I do believe him when he says that he's very honoured to be awarded this, and
absolutely
when he looks at the other people that are around him, and I do believe him when he says that he, you know, respects everyone wholeheartedly and all that kind of stuff. Did you
listen to his other speeches for his other awards?
He's kind of been like cause of the week a little bit. He's kind of gotten up and talked about something that pisses him off, and then he's like, "Oh, at the Globes I'll do this one, and at the SAGs I'll do this."
Okay,
and look, that's okay. He's a very eccentric and you know, outspoken person.
Yeah, I
don't think we could have expected anything less. I remember at the end of it, Todd Phillips. They cut to Todd Phillips, and I was like, I don't think he mentioned anything about working on that film.
No, he didn't.
Or anything.
No, but you didn't expect anything.
But that, you know, to me, that also makes me seem like
only because
he's been awarded this.
Yeah.
And his victory, like his prize for winning this award is 2 uninterrupted minutes to spout his political beliefs.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's more than welcome to that.
But he's also had how many other awards where he can thank these people?
Yeah, but nowhere near as many people watch those ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like the opposite. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
Then you had Renee Zellweger do the opposite. She did the old school meandering list of names until I could not believe they were not playing her off. And
I know, right?
Like, it was getting ridiculous, and it started to sound like that gag from Ted when they're trying to figure out the name of the girl that he's dating, and she's listing off Mary Sue, Mary Beth, Bethy Sue, and I was just like, oh my god, this is going on.
Yeah, it really went on for a while. And for me, this is my other left of center. This really caught me off guard. The fact that Renee Zellweger came out of nowhere and took this thing, because where the fuck has she been for so long? Comes and does a Judy Garland movie, and then just takes home Best Actress. Ups to her, which is fucking great that she's done that.
Yeah.
It's just, it really was out of nowhere for me. But then again, I'd look at the nominees and I was like, well, why not, to be honest? Because no one was really
wasn't a super strong year in the leading female category, which probably speaks volumes.
What did I pick? Did I pick Charlize? Who did I pick? You did pick Charlize, actually. I think that was the one that we went different. Yeah, you went Charlize. Yeah, I went Charlize.
I really liked Renee Zellweger and Judy. I thought she was fantastic. Sure. I really do. But I don't think there was much strength surrounding her in that category.
Okay.
And, you know, I think it means that we really do need to think about having more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the acting category for the actors, there were 10, 12 roles that could have made that 5 up really well.
Yeah.
Because there's probably 50 times more leading male roles available at the moment.
Absolutely.
So if we're not going to offer the opportunities, how can there be more outstanding work? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there just needs to be more stories told that give the women the opportunity to be the leading role in these films.
Absolutely.
As opposed to somebody's wife,
Yeah.
somebody's mother. Like, you know, because that's even what the winners are sometimes. Like, you know, it's the mother of the lead role, but you're in it enough so you can be also in leading category, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Needs to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then we had Best Picture.
And then we had Best Picture, which was the biggest surprise of the entire night.
Huge.
And
Huge.
I am absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen this film twice now.
Twice. Good. I'm going to watch it again soon.
Yeah. Sam wanted
100%.
to watch it, and I was like, yeah, no-brainer.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll be watching it again soon. I think it'll be a purchase for me, so I can have a nice crisp Blu-ray that I can crack out when I want.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's only a couple from this that I've logged already in my head as definite purchases.
Definite purchases?
And that's, Parasite and Once Upon a Time in
Once Upon a
Hollywood.
Time?
Yeah.
Really? You're not going to... Oh,
They're
Tyson was a...
my big time ones
Right.
from this year so far.
Okay. Because 1917 on 4K...
I'm sure it looks. I look to be
It's a
quite
little different
100%
story,
honest.
though. It's a little different story.
I really enjoyed 1917.
Yeah.
But as a certain kind of film.
Yeah, right.
It's an experience film. It's like a.
Can I?
Martin Scorsese talks about Marvel films being theme park rides. 1917 is a theme park ride. It's
I agree with you right there.
It's World War One walkthrough basically,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great experience for that.
Hell no.
But now that I've done it, I would maybe do it again, like you were saying before. Something we were talking about watching it again. You were like, maybe 5 years, 10 years. That's how I kind of feel about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 5 years time down the track, when someone brings out a 100-inch 5K television, and I'm like,
And you're like, you know what?
yeah, okay,
I'm gonna watch
I'll do
this
that.
sucker.
Yeah, that might look real cool.
It's free streaming.
Yeah.
Sure.
Exactly.
No, I will be purchasing the Joker. I have to purchase the Joker.
I figured you would.
And well, I have to.
Yeah.
And obviously Quentin, because I own every Quentin. But yeah, Parasite. My God,
Such a great movie.
such a good movie, right?
Yeah, and look, absolutely thrilled to see it win. So we've got to consider all the things that it's broken by winning as well, which is amazing.
Right,
So
right.
the first foreign language film to win Best Picture.
Yep.
To be quite honest, I'm so glad it was this and not Roma.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know it's the unpopular opinion, but I did
Sorry.
not like Roma.
No, neither did I.
And
Roma
it's just
sucked.
and I actually think this wouldn't have won if Roma had a won, because there was a push in
Yeah.
this. There was a cultural push that stat sucks and that stat needs to change.
Yeah.
And so when this movie came along, it's like, well, why not this movie? Because this movie's fucking great.
Yeah.
But if it had happened last year,
Roma was a fucking snore fest. Sorry, it was. It really fucking was. It was stunning. Don't get me wrong.
it was stunning to look
It
at.
was absolutely stunning, and some of the shots in it were amazing.
Yeah.
But Jesus fucking Christ, I was falling asleep.
Me too.
Whereas Parasite, on the other hand,
Glued to the screen.
holy shit.
And that's where, like, its strengths are in its writing, its direction, its performances. It is an all-round package of a film. There is not a weak element to it.
Yeah.
And that is the perfect thing to showcase at the Oscars. Like, that's what we can do. Other things like, the lead-up awards really not meaning shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
not even...
So what won the best pictures for those?
So 1917 has been basically cleaning up.
Right.
And not only was it not one of those situations where, like, so this has kind of happened in the past. So let's think of the Moonlight accident, the fuck-up year, right?
Yeah. La La Land, Moonlight.
La La Land was winning pretty much everything in the lead-up.
Yep.
One director, but then Moonlight one picture, right? And that was more a result of the preferential ballot system, which brings a winner to the forefront that is more universally liked as opposed to passionately loved.
Sure.
Whereas in this case now, because it won both director and picture, that whole kind of vibe has gone out the window. It's so bizarre to have a film that has won director and picture at the Globes, the BAFTAs, won the DGA for Best Director, won the Producers Guild, which is also a preferential system, which is really bizarre because that would have been, if Parasite had won there, it would have been a bit of a clue that it was more universally liked. But 1917 won there, so it still had universal praise to it.
Yeah, right.
It just so happened that Parasite was able to come in at the end. I think this would have been so close. I reckon if you look at the votes, I think this would have been one of the closest in history because it's amazing that for it to have done so well. And you got to think like the way the preferential works, your second and third votes really do matter. Yeah. Joker is nobody's third favorite film. It'll be a lot of people's first and a hell of a lot of people's last as well.
Yeah, right.
Because it's very divisive. Yeah. Parasite though, if it's not your favorite, it's your second or third favorite.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what the whole thing was designed to do. It's not designed to reward the real passionate, divisive film.
No,
it's designed to reward.
Come in second. And steal it.
It's designed to be the person that's like, yeah, it had a really strong bunch of likes. So did this film, but nobody put that film second or third. So that's going to drop away, and this one will take the spot. I think both 1917 and Parasite would have had strong second and third votes. I reckon it would have gone down the wire quite a lot.
Nice.
So, which is really cool though, because it's not like, neither of these films are passionately disliked.
No.
And that's really, I think that's very good to have that.
Yeah, they were neck and neck. It was a really, really good year.
It was a really tight race.
Damn.
And it just so happened that in all the awards leading up to it, I think 1917 just got over the line. And it just so happened that in this one, couldn't quite do it. So, and now it'll be remembered forever as the one that what did it win? Visual effects, cinematography, and sound mixing. Or sound editing. So what could have been a 7 Oscar win for them, it got whittled down to like a 3. So damn. Yeah, really interesting.
Doesn't take anything away from it. It's still a great film, but yeah.
Yeah, but I
really love the ones that Parasite won for. They just really show off what this film is about, sort of thing, and the ones that it took home really mean something. They're the big ones.
Yeah. Well, I found it amazing because the fact that it still won picture, but didn't win any of the sneaky ones that I thought it had a chance to win that it would need to win picture.
Sure. Like
production design, editing. Yeah. The fact that it didn't win those, I was kind of like, I don't think it's going to get there in the end because if it had got one of those, you would have been like, oh, all right, a little bit of extra support.
Bit of steam.
I think we knew it was going to get
adapted
screenplay.
Yeah, we knew.
We knew it was obviously going to get
adapted
foreign.
Or original?
It was original. We knew it was going to get foreign language film.
Yeah, that was.
So when it got those two, we were just kind of like, all right, well, there we are.
Parasite for the win.
Yeah. But then to go on and get these other ones.
How many films was it this year? 6?
Sorry?
Best Pictures. 1,
there were
2,
9
3,
this year.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That's normal, though. What was the year where we had fucking 20?
No, we had 2 years where we had 10 as a lock.
Yeah.
Like it was just, no matter what, there are 10.
Yeah.
They realised that didn't work. And so they decided to implement a system where it will be somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay.
Based on, it's a similar way to how they actually vote the winner. So if you get a certain amount of number 1 placements on the nomination cards, you're in. You reach a certain percentage.
Right.
As soon as that card reaches that percentage, its card gets everyone else's vote for that film gets knocked out.
Yeah.
And then the second film on that card becomes the count at a lower percentage.
Nice.
And then all those cards go until they reach the nomination threshold, etc.
Nice. Okay.
Due to that, it can actually reach anywhere between 5 and 10. Mm-hmm. Just because of the way the numbers will dwindle, you have to reach a certain percentage. Okay. So you can keep going on and on forever with people's cards, but at a certain point, the value of it...
They're just going to lock off. And
the value of each vote isn't enough to get you to the threshold.
Nice.
So that's why it's a fluctuating number.
Yeah. What was the Little Women story you had to tell me?
Oh, Little Women story. So I sat down and watched Little Women.
Nice.
Rachel was excited to watch it, and I was excited to see it too. I was like, yeah, cool. I haven't seen a version of Little Women before. I'm really excited to watch it.
Was this your first version?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So, and Rachel was really excited, so of course we sat down and watched it. That was actually in the night of trying to watch as many as humanly possible.
Nice.
And so about 10 minutes into it, I wasn't particularly enjoying it, I'll be honest.
Sure.
I was a bit kind of getting a bit distracted.
It's a period piece.
And I was like,
Yeah.
look, but that's not it. I love my period pieces, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I was just, maybe it was just the day I'd finished off, I'd watched the second half of The Irishman finally after putting it off after however long. I'd had a day. And it was cool, but of course I was like, Oscars movie, I'm going to sit through it, I'm going to watch it. And probably about 15 minutes in, Rachel's turned to me and she's like, I fucking hate this. I was like, what?
Jesus.
It's like, this is awful. I'm not enjoying this at all.
Okay.
And I was like, oh God, I thought you'd really be liking this. And she's like, I thought I would too. Do you know what I want to watch? I want to watch the 1994 one with Winona Ryder. It shits on this. I was like, all right.
Okay.
Cool.
We're watching it.
We'll watch it whenever you like.
That
Sounds
is
good
gold.
to me. She's like, it's all such like too cool for school. She's like, this is a story about this is like a classic story where it's all just beautifully heartfelt and all on the surface, and it's not too cool.
Yep.
It's not edgy. It's not meant to be kind of like anything more than what it represented at that time.
Yep.
And it's like the 1994 one captures that perfectly.
Okay.
And her argument was that this one is trying way too hard to make it cool and relevant, and it comes across as try hard.
That's wanky.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool.
Nice.
Off.
Okay.
Turn it off then.
I like that.
So I didn't end up watching Little Women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good story.
There you go.
I have a story. We were talking about the Oscars today at work, and everyone's Parasite. Should I see Parasite? Well, yeah, duh. And a guy at work is like, yeah, I watched Parasite. I'm halfway through. I'm like, and that really, fuck me.
At
like,
what point do you pause Parasite?
Are you ready for this? So it's really, for starters, that pisses me off. Like, I'm like, films are meant to be digested in one sitting.
Yes.
I understand if you're watching The Irishman, sure. But Jesus Christ, man, of course you can stay awake and just watch one film. Tyson, he paused it at the point where the older maid comes in the house. We're going to stop it here. I was like, oh my God.
Okay, so to be honest...
He stopped it at the best part.
So when she's ringing the doorbell... Okay, so that's probably, to be honest, if anyone ever said, hey, I need to pause Parasite at a point, where am I going to pause it? I reckon I would say, as soon as you see a maid ring a doorbell, pause it.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's where he's watching it from.
Turning back.
How funny is that? He paused it there.
Without having knowledge of that, though, that's an incredible place to stop it, because as soon as that doorbell rings,
that movie literally
shifts. It completely changes.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so amazing.
God damn. But yeah, that was my Parasite song.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Rachel did also want me to mention that she picked the winner. She's very proud. As she did last year as well.
Lovely. What was the winner last year?
Green Book.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. And she votes entirely on the movie that she wants to win, not that she thinks will win.
Sure.
So she wanted to mention that she has exceptional taste. She just wanted you to know that.
Rach, I love you.
Yeah.
Always.
So yeah, that was a pretty successful Oscars. What do we call it? Our predictions, relatively successful.
Not bad.
I think I did better than I've done for a few years. I think
you were on the ball this year, Thomas.
Almost 20 out of 24. I think I probably got 18 or 19 out of 24, which is
that's pretty good.
Cracking the 20 though, that's the dream. I was not far off, really not far off, because I got, and I never get these all. I got short film, short doc, and short animated. I got them all.
Right. They're
usually the ones clinches. Where your points go to hell.
Exactly. It's because, and it's so funny, if you were to look back on your predictions, had your love of Quentin not been so strong, you probably would have won it.
I would have definitely,
yeah.
And if I had got the sound editing and mixing the right way around, I could have been looking at a 22.
Yeah.
22 out of 24.
Yeah.
Madness.
Cool.
Good times. Always good times.
Good times.
Nick.
And now we return to our regularly scheduled programming.
It's regularly scheduled programming. I feel like we haven't done just a normal Nick Tyson Videotape episode.
For like 2 months.
Well, since
over
before,
2 months.
Since before Christmas. Yeah. So we, of course, it goes back to welcome back Talking Trailers. Welcome back. What did you watch this week? Whatever other bullshit we do.
Things that, news. Maybe there's some news. I think
there's probably a whole stack of news, to be honest.
But to kick it off, Tice, are we gonna go? What are we doing?
Yeah, we're just ditching all this Oscar stuff. This is the same conversation I had yesterday as well.
Yeah,
is that when it was like, should we watch a movie? Yeah, let's watch a movie. It's like, what do you want? The trashiest thing we can find, because I need to watch.
I need to watch some trash.
Yeah, I need to watch something that is in no way regarded as a good film.
Okay.
Because that's all I've been watching. And so when you're in that headset, it's like, all right, it's a good movie. We're going to do this thing.
And then midway through, you're like, this is not that good.
Or it's like so good that it's exhausting. And you're like, wow, at the end of it, you're like, I just want to watch some piece of shit that'll keep me busy.
And we're going to watch.
Well, this is not true because this is a fantastic movie, but it's definitely not an Oscar-winning movie.
But it's trash.
Well, we realised, Nick.
We did.
That we had a thing where we were always going to go to our muscle men because we love them.
Yeah.
We love them, our 80s action heroes.
We did.
And
we're all about the 80s.
Yes. We realised that we haven't done a movie with Stallone in it.
Haven't really. We've done one.
Since episode 5, Nicholas. Next week will be episode 128.
Yes.
In that time, we've done 4 Arnies.
I'm going to say 5.
5? 2 Van Dams.
Yep.
We've even done a Steven Seagal.
We've done 2 Bruce Willises.
Yeah, at least.
We've done 3 Bruce Willises.
And 1 Steven Seagal.
And 1 Steven Seagal.
So we've got to get our boy Stallone back in there.
Okay.
Because it's unfair to Stallone.
That's a bit mean.
Because he's up there. He's up there.
I am the law.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are we doing, though?
Well, we're doing 1993's Demolition Man.
Yes!
I know this is a favourite of many Stallone fans. It really is a fantastic...
and Sandra Bullock fans.
Sandra Bullock.
I love
Early Sandra Bullock
in this.
And Wesley Snipes.
When he was great.
Great. And this is one of those movies that when you watched it in 93, this reminds me a lot of Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
When you watched it in 93, you were like, this is trashy, blah, 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 blah. When you watch it now, you're like, wow, this movie had its finger on the pulse. Because it is really
so good,
very ahead of its time.
It is.
It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about.
So futuristic. I remember watching it, going, "Oh my god, I hope the future looks like this."
I mean, that stuff it's a bit off, but a lot of the
cars,
a lot of the cultural commentary, the stuff about the poverty, the uprising of the lower class, all that kind of stuff.
Finger on the pulse.
Really, really, really kind of looked ahead into the way we are now.
Much like an Best Picture Academy Award winner?
Much like Parasite, indeed. Could you imagine? That's a good double feature.
Damn, I'm watching that.
Parasite
and Demolition Man.
So good.
Solid similarities. Tyson.
Yes, Nick. Are we done?
We're done.
Do you want to tell the people, remind them where they can find our show?
Sure, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. That would have been a long sit. I felt like that wasn't really that entertaining unless you are into the Oscars. But if you are...
I mean, that's the whole point, though. That's why we do the Oscar Extravaganza.
I know. But thank you. Please like, subscribe, rate, review everywhere that you listen to this podcast. We would love you muchly. If you would like to jump on the social medias, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We do have an email account, which is nicktysonvideotape@gmail.com. Nick Tyson Videotape, gmail.com.
That's the one.
Yeah. We're on YouTube if you would like to listen to us on there.
Yeah, jump on board the YouTube channel. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
There's literally just the episodes in YouTube form. There's nothing more exciting about that.
Exactly.
But you can leave comments and you
true.
can give us thumbs up.
Yeah. For some people, we've been trolled a lot on the Craft episode. I'm making that up. And follow Tyson and myself on the Letterboxd app.
Yes, please do.
We would love it muchly.
Yeah, in case you were wondering what we thought of some of the Oscar movies that we maybe didn't mention.
Oh, yeah.
In full conversation mode.
That's a good one.
We do have all the ratings for all those movies. I generally rated everything an 8. I just that was just the vibe I was in. They were all pretty good, and so it was like, well, there's another 8, I guess.
That's true. Mine were all around 8s, apart from Marriage Story.
Yeah. Well, I had a sneaky 7 in there. I'll let the people at home figure out which one that one might be.
Have you watched Marriage Story, Tyson?
No.
Are you going to?
No.
Wow, snap. Okay. All right.
No, I'm fine.
Yeah. There are better movies. Watch Kramer vs. Kramer. Much better. Tyson.
Yes, Nick.
Bye, buddy.
See you, man. Bye.